Today we're reviewing the book The Cousins by Karen McManus. So now this book is about a grandmother, an estranged grandmother, reconnecting with her grandchildren after some 20 odd years of no contact, with the last contact being a letter saying, "You know what you did." Now what the grandmother wants and what exactly is happening and what caused her to send the letter is the basic premise of the story. Now, Karen McManus is a really good author, and she seemed to master this art of multiple perspective storytelling, where a group of 3 to 4 people play the lead characters, and they tell the same story, or they build upon the story from their perspectives. Usually, a murder of some sort has happened, and each character have their own secrets that add on to the story. But in this book, it's quite different. In all or majority of Karen McManus' book, it's always who did it. You know what happened. A group of 3 to 4 people find a murder. Okay, a murder has taken place, and they try to figure out who did it. But here, the roles are reversed. We know who did it, we just don't know what. Because according to the letter sent, apparently by the grandmother, it's apparently the children who did something that caused the grandmother to send her a letter saying, "You know what you did." So we know who did it, but what exactly did they do to receive such a letter and to be cut off from their inheritance and just no contact for like 20 years? And that's what I like about this book, because it's slightly different and it shows how this slight change in narrative can make a book so different, and it's not altogether that different from Karen McManus's usual writing style, and she's able to execute this idea pretty well. And another thing I like about this book, right, is there are a lot of plot twists, and you can see some coming, but some you don't see. It's like it's not like they're there for the purpose of, oh, we need a plot twist. It genuinely moves the story forward, and like I said, it adds on to the story. Like each character has their own secret that adds on to the story. And this is kind of a spoiler, but every single cousin here, right? There's 3 major cousins. You have I forgot their names. You have Aubrey, you have Jonah, and Mildred. Mildred is the main character out of the 3, the trio of characters here, and she's named after her grandmother. So wow, so fun, so connecting, linking and stuff. So these grandchildren are supposed to be representative of their parents, their best and their worst. So this is again quite an interesting narrative idea in my opinion. But apart from the fact that it's more of a what happened instead of a who done it, the book is in general, it's not I'm not saying that it's not interesting or it's predictable, but if you read more than like 2 or 3 of Karen McManus's book, you know how it's gonna play out. There's a female lead, there's a male lead. They're obviously gonna have a romance of some sort going on. In the end, there's gonna be this overarching climax that brings all the trio together, because somewhere along the middle of the story, the trio kind of falls apart, or the main romance falls apart. And then because of the climax, they come back together, and then usually there's a plot twist in the end that is not such a happy ending or hints at something greater. So it follows this general structure. And I mean, the story here is different, but it's like a set structure that Karen McManus follows, and it works well, but it's just repetitive. I'm pretty sure it's my 3rd or 4th book of Karen McManus's, and it's not like it's a bad book. It's more like how people watch rom-coms for comfort. You know how the story's going to play out. You know how it's going to end, but especially with this one, there are quite a bunch of plot twists. It's kind of hard to see where it's going to end up, or at least you think you do, but you just don't know how it's going to happen. And I think in that, it is a well-made, interesting book. If not, you can see the age, and you can also see this type of storytelling wearing out, because it's the same structure, it's the same characters. You know how the story is gonna go, but it still works well. And for that, I give this book an 8 out of 10, because it is a really interesting murder mystery novel, and it does what it's supposed to do. It's marketed it as a very interesting murder mystery novel. You know, Karen McManus is a murder mystery novel artist, so artist, author. And before I end it off, I just want to say my favorite character out of the trio would be Aubrey, because she's so unique in the sense she's always felt this sense of never being good enough. And my favorite character overall would be Uncle Archer, because he had so much going for him, and then it's all kind of gone. In a way, you could say that about Aubrey's father as well, as referenced throughout by multiple characters throughout the novel. Overall, it's a good book. You should read it if you like murder mysteries. But if you read more than one Karen McManus book, two or three Karen McManus book, you know how it's gonna play out. But it's still interesting to go and see where the story takes you, and it's a good ride. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.